Hi, I'm Andrew Stevenson, and in today's video I'm going to show you my top selling books from Q4 last year. So from October the 1st to December the 29th, because of the amount of days I couldn't quite get the full year on, I sold 157 books. It's not loads, but it's good for me. I'm quite happy with that, especially the way it picked up by the end of the month. By the end of the period, I had a record month in December. I do have December's income report in another video, so feel free to click on that. But I want to show you a longer period of time to show you how many books sold, what books sold, and then how much profit I made on that. So as you can see here, I've got 134 books, which is not many. I'm going to work harder on getting that up. I've got a few ideas. So hopefully I'll be able to at least double that with quality books in the coming months. No surprise to see, top of the pops is the Steampunk Craft Paper Pad. Out of 157 books, 37 of them were the craft paper pads. Mostly from the US, but a few from other places. Second on the list is the appointments book for hairstylists. This is purely seasonal, where the rest of them aren't really seasonal. This one, I've sold a few of these in January. Come March time, there won't be any sales at all, I wouldn't have thought. And considering I only listed this in November, probably, maybe even December. No, I think November. To sell 30, I'm very pleased with that. And I've sold probably, at least another 10 maybe in January so far. Third on the list is another craft paper pad. This time it's for coffee lovers. It's just pictures of, I can't really show you the images, but it's just coffee beans, coffee cups, the word coffee. I'll put links in the description on how to make all of these books that I'm showing you here. Number 4 is one of my fashion sketchbooks. I've got a few different versions of these. This one's the top seller. It's only sold 12 in 3 months, but it seems to have picked up a bit of steam recently. So 12 in 3 months, probably all of those 12 were in back end of November, December. So next on the list, which is 5th, we have another craft paper pad, and you'll see there's a few more down here to go through, so I'll not go too much into detail on them. This one's kind of, Cinco de Mayo, sugar skulls, chilies, things like that, on pattern paper that people can cut out and use for their crafty things, scrapbooking and journal and things like that. Next we have the Old Faithful Comedy Writer's Notepad. This was one of the first books I made, and 5 sales. It doesn't sell loads. I think I've probably got repeat customers for that, because it's a sort of thing that you fill in, and it's a good system to write jokes. It does work, and when people get through the book, they get the end, they buy another one. These next 3 are all different types of craft paper pad, out of the 80s, old maps, and more steampunk. Next we have another fashion sketch pad. There we have a 2022 appointments book, which I imagine were ordered in error. Although you never know, if it was bought in October, maybe they did need a new one for October. There's another version of the same book, just with a different cover. There's a couple of academic planners. So these, I've showed you how to make these before. It's a fully dated 13-month planner with timetables, monthly views, to-do lists. It's chock full of features. I didn't make many of them this year. Normally I do loads. and I haven't sold many. I did sell some earlier in the year. I probably made them in June or July, so I sold some earlier in the year, but this time of year they peter out anyway, but also it wasn't a good year for them. I didn't have much choice in the way of covers. More craft paper pads. This one, Christmas, obviously seasonal, and I only sold 2, so it's not going to make a massive difference to me sales. Coming up here we have that's tree bark, another fashion sketchbook, so that's 2, 5, 17, so 17 of those have sold. This is a smaller version of the Comedy Writers Notebook. This one here is 8.5 by 11. This one is 6 by 9. I thought it would be handy to have one that you could just pop in your pockets. So this notebook is just a notebook with an image of this lady on each page, but black and white image. So it's a black and white printed book. And sold 2 of them. There's a couple of more ornate bits on the page, but not many. There's another dated appointment book. For these appointment books, it's identical in the interior, it's just a different cover. So I've sold 1, 2, 3, I'll count those ones, 5. So I've sold 35 of those, which, you know, again, it's not loads, but that averages out at 10 a month. If you've got 50 books selling and you're selling 10 copies a month, then 500 books, £2 profit a book, you've got £1,000 a month. Now I don't have that yet, but I'm trying to build up towards it. And this here is another academic planner with a slightly different cover, same interior, different cover, but it is both. The ones I've sold are both dogs. Maybe that's all I made dog ones, I can't recall. This is page 2. I've sold 1 Art Deco telephone book. I've made a video on how to make these sort of things, so I'll put that in the book. So I'll link to that in the description. More craft paper pads. This is a moon and astrology planner for 2022. So, to sell one in between October and December is a bit odd. So I'm imagining it's a mistake. There's another student planner. So I think that's 4 maybe I've sold in the last 4 months, 3 months. Not loads, but when you consider it's the same interior with just a different cover, and the covers are all fairly standard in that it's a repeating pattern, and it's got a title page which is just a simple, it's got a title on the front cover which is just a simple academic planner, blah blah blah. Also, this book and the appointment books, they're all made from interiors that are made last year or the year before. Yeah, probably 2020, 2021, which, because I use the data merge system, I just keep on linking it to my Excel file, which has got all the dates written in for the last few years, and it automatically spits out a complete planner. So for the appointment books, I think I designed maybe 2 pages, fed it through the data merge, and then it just spat out a full book, and I've wrapped it in a few different colours and sold 35 copies. So for that, to be honest, I think for the appointment books I got the interior from Creative Fabrica and just added the data merge sections myself. So it took us maybe 2 minutes work, and to get 35 sales isn't bad. And these last 3, again, they're all pretty much identical interiors. Gig diary books. It's a space for your set list, a space for the venue, a review of your performance, how the crowd reacted, things like that. It's just a segmented diary, undated though. So I think the space for maybe is 100 gigs in, and I just put a different cover on the front for different members of the band. And this is the money I made for those 3 months. So nearly 200 quid. We'll say that's probably $220, $230. So not loads, but again, remember, this is mostly passive. All of these craft paper pads I made years ago. Same with the fashion sketchbooks. The only thing that's new really are the appointment planners and the journals I made. So out of 192 quid, a quarter of that was on this particular craft pad. And if you add up all of the craft paper royalties, it probably is at least half of that, probably more. If you compare the earlier parts in the video to this part, you can see how much money I'm making per book. I can't be bothered to work it out, but I'll just slowly scroll down here and you can have a look. So I remember I sold 2 of these, so making about 138 royalty per book, which isn't bad. I sold 2 of those, so 115. That's probably the same amount of profit for this year's books. Yeah, so I sold 2 of those, 115. For me planners, I'm making about £1.80. I think I sold 2 of those, so that's quite a low, maybe 85 pence. So it's about $1 a book. It's not great, but it's better than nothing. So these gig diaries here, I sold 1 of each of them, so I'm making 168 on the guitarist and 120 on the others. That could just be a simple exchange rate discrepancy, which it probably is. So I must have these priced pretty highly. Art Deco phone book, 129. I don't know how many of those are sold. Was it just 1, 2? Yeah, whatever you can work out if you want to. I can't be bothered. So that is it for today's video. Please do like, comment and subscribe if you so wish. It really does help me out and I do appreciate it. Hopefully this video has give you some ideas as to what sort of books sell in Q4. And these books are all organic. I don't do any advertising on them, and as I've said before, I'm not very good. Covers are my weak point, as are the actual nuts and bolts of the keywords and stuff like that. So this is just me. I've done no real research into the keywords, which is a flaw of mine. But if I can make 157 sales in 3 months with no effort in the back end of the whole system, then I'm sure if you do a bit of research, you can easily outsell me with the same books. Maybe make you thousands a month. So thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time.